Hello friends, have you been finding it very difficult to read and understand or even remember what you've read? A lot of times I've had interactions with a lot of people, and the question they often ask is, how do I begin to read and remember what I have read? How do I read and even understand? Most times I read, Coach Faith, I find it difficult to remember. Yes, I've seen this question again 1,000 times since I started off becoming a powerful and intentional coach in this area of reading and personal development. And that is why I've been able to craft these principles together to ensure that as you practice them deliberately, it's going to take your reading life to the next level. If today is your first time watching my videos on this YouTube channel, I want to officially welcome you. Thank you for stopping by, and I want to say that do not hesitate to subscribe, friends. Please subscribe to my channel, all right, so that you can be notified whenever there are video uploads on this channel. All right, thank you for stopping by. Have you subscribed now? Can we go on with the conversation? Okay, I'm excited because this is really going to be a powerful engagement. All right, even as you take these principles seriously, your reading life is going to experience a major shift. Okay, that is the whole essence of personal growth, that once you get in touch with a principle, you apply those principles, it's going to take you to the next level. So now we have 3 powerful tips I want to share, all right, in this very video. There are lots of them I would love to share with you, but in this video we want to make it very simple and straight to the heart. And I also want you to practice. I do not want you to just listen and at the end of the day you go back, you don't do the work. All right, I want you to be able to do the work, in the words of Stephen Pressfield, the author of Do the Work. So let's look at the very first principle. The very first principle is what? Active reading. All right, active reading. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing 3 principles with you in this video: active reading, rereading, and taking notes. All right, not in any order. All right, I've just been able to put those 3 letters together so you can remember. All right, the ACT methodology. A there stands for active reading, the arrow there stands for rereading, and then the T there stands for taking notes. You can write them down, guys. Write them down so you don't forget. Okay, so now, yes, it starts from here. It's a mnemonic device, okay, for helping you remember things. It's a memory aid. It helps to remember. Whenever we're able to use acronym, you can also begin to see that as a tool to implement. Of course, we're not talking about that today, but let's look at the 3 major principles that you have to begin to inculcate into your reading life or journey to ensure that your reading becomes a fluid and effortless experience. Number 1, active reading. Active reading is active engagement. Whatever you are not active about, there is no way you can get better. If you are a parent, you are not an active parent, you will not be a powerful parent. If you are into a relationship and you are not active, you are not engaging your partner, it will not get better. Even in the listening skills, if you are not an active listener, forget about it, forget it. You will not be able to even understand what someone is saying in the first place. So there is also the concept of active reading, active engagement. According to research, all right, we discovered that I have come to realize that more than 80% of readers do what we call passive reading. So they just read, they interact with the book, interact with the concept, and they get excited. They jump in up, oh, I love this idea that this author has shared. I love that and I love this. And at the end of the day, they are not able to remember after 48 hours, after 24 hours, reasons being that they were not engaged, they were not active in the process. So active reading is very important. You may be asking, Coach Faith, how do I become an active reader? One of the best ways to become an active reader is by connecting with the author. What is the vision of this author? Why has this author been able to put this book together? What was in the mind of the author before putting this idea or this structure together to be able to explain something to me so that I will become a better person in this area of life? That is your very first question as an active reader. So you should be able to ask empowering questions. All right, in my book, How to Increase Your Concentration Level While Reading, I spoke about the concept of the SQ3 arrow model. Maybe some other time I will talk about it. It's a very powerful model to help you increase your ability to concentrate in a particular material, to engage. Is a way to ask questions. All right, you ask yourself, why did this author put this work together? What is the vision behind it? What is the idea behind it? So by the time you are asking all of these different empowering questions, it is going to help you stay glued and engaged with the author. All right, because when you pick up a book to read, you are on a journey. You are on a journey with someone possibly that you have never met before in your life, or that you will never meet in your lifetime. Their experiences, their biases, and everything have been, put together to make sure that that book becomes a powerful piece that you have in your hands right now. So if you understand how to actively engage with the author, it is going to make your reading become a fun and effortless experience, and you are going to be able to remember, understand what you've read. Now, the other reason it is very important you actively engage with the author is the fact that this author has their own biases. They have their own challenges that they must have been able to put inside this book, to weave together as a content, to express their opinion, to express their argument. And if you don't understand how to really engage, it's going to be difficult for you to trim those things out. That's why we have book reviewers. Whenever somebody goes in to review a book, especially if they are experts in that very area of life, they try as much as possible to deconstruct the framework, the structure of the book, right? Come up with the different levels of connection that the author has been able to put together, and they tell you, see, this author has done this and it is cool, this author did that, it is cool, but this one, no, we're not going to deal with this is not a beautiful one, this is not a good one, right? So that is engagement. I don't want to dwell so much. Let's move on to the next one. The next one there is the arrow that stands for rereading. Whenever we talk about rereading, what do we mean? Rereading is simply going back to review, okay, go through the process of what you have read again, right? Books are reference materials, guys. I like you to write that down. Just like we have the encyclopedias, the dictionary, and some other books there that we have in the reference sessions in the library, we also have books as reference materials. Why? Because whenever you have read through a book, you have to go back again and reread. It is in the process of rereading you get to integrate the lessons. Okay, let me share a concept with you. The concept is called spaced repetition. I want you to type that down. Spaced repetition. What is spaced repetition? In simple explanation, spaced repetition is simply your ability to read, whether it's an article, whether it's a book, whatever it is that you have interacted with, and then you go back and relax, stay in the place of marination, incubation of those ideas, and then you interact with the knowledge. You're like, oh my God, I learned this lesson from this author. This is really powerful. And then you integrate the ideas again and again. And then after a while, you come back and read again. Do you see that? So when you come back and read, what you're doing at that time is rereading. And by the time you do it again and again, the more you go in for spaced repetition, the more you are able to integrate the lessons. So I remember back then in school when we were writing, when we were preparing for our tests or our exams or whatever it is we're preparing for part-time, we read and then we keep the question papers, we keep the books or all of that, and then we go on to try and remember, regurgitate some of the things that we've read. How many of you can attest to that? Regurgitate some of the things we've read, and then by the time we regurgitate, we come back to the book. That's what we call spaced repetition. That period, that gap time that you have given to yourself is a process of marination, is a process of incubation. So whenever you do that and you go back and reread, it helps to solidify the ideas, it helps to integrate the information, deepen it into your memory so that you can be able to remember. But the challenge most times is that because people are so much in a hurry, or because especially when they are dealing with books that are self-help kind of books like this, books that help for personal development and all of that, they just read and they're excited and they move on, right? It doesn't really work like that. Whenever you read, always find that time, all right? Always find that time in your schedule to go back, reread again so that you can remember some of those key lessons. That is the arrow in the art methodology. Then the T there stands for taking notes. Come on now. Taking notes is really a beautiful experience, right? I think there's this saying that the faintest pen is greater than the sharpest memory or something, the sharpest brain, all right? So when you, I think that's in my own words now, but that is something similar. Maybe you guys can understand what I'm saying. So when you write down, there is a connection between what you write and your brain and your memory. There's a connection, maybe some kind of wiring from the brain to the hand. There's a connection, friends. And once you do that again and again, you take notes. There's a story of someone I would love to share. This man was a very powerful note taker. All right, I've shared his story even on our Rereaders book club community. I've shared his story again and again. He was a very powerful note taker, and he was a clerk. All right, in an organization, was working as a clerk. All right, after a while, There was a time a professor walked in, to paraphrase the story, all right? A professor walked into the office one day, and the way this man was interacting, was sharing ideas and all of that, fast forward to today, or many years after, he became a professor without ever going to a formal institution. But because he was able to interact with content that has been shared by a lot of people, he has taken a lot of notes, and the story has it that his note-taking system became a framework that has been used to teach note-taking in most of the institutions around the world. This was somebody who never had a degree somewhere in one university or thereabout, and those notes that he was able to take over the years, they were able to compile them as books or whatever for people to be able to go through. So what am I saying in a nutshell? There are several benefits that comes with note taking. This is not a video for note taking. Maybe in subsequent editions I will talk about note taking just in a particular video, right? So the ACT methodology is very important. I like you to take it up seriously. ART, active reading, rereading, and what? Taking notes. This methodology will help you going forward to begin to read, commit to things that you've read to memory, and be able to take your transformation to the next level. So friends, as we wrap up on this session, I want to especially invite you. We have a Rereaders book event coming up on the 8th of January 2024. All right, so if you would like to join us, friends, I'd like you to check this description, all right, on how to gain access to this very powerful and enlightening program that is going to transform you, take your reading to the next level. We have 8 speakers from 3 continents. It's going to be powerful. It's a program we do once in a year, and if you'd like to participate, it is absolutely free. You can check this description and join the room so that you can be part of this transformative experience. Thank you for stopping by once again. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel. My name is Faith Michael, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.